Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You're all very welcome. My name is Terry Toomey, and I'll be your Master of Ceremonies for today. This conferring ceremony is streaming live on the internet, so if there's anybody who didn't make it today and they'd like to look in on what's happening, you can just text them and they can log on. A couple of housekeeping items before we begin. There are 7 emergency exits from this auditorium, 2 in each of the glass walls at the side, 1 to the left and 1 to the right of the stage up here in front, and 1 at the back where you came in earlier. Also, could I ask you to please switch off your mobile phones before we start the formal process? Okay, the formal proceedings begin with the academic procession. I now invite you all to please stand for the academic procession. Please be seated. I will begin by introducing the members of the conferring panel to you. To my right is Mr. Niall Green, Chairman of the governing body of Limerick Institute of Technology. In the centre is Dr. Maria Hinfelar, President of Limerick Institute of Technology. And finally, Mr. Donncha McNamara, Head of School of Business and Humanities. I now call on Mr. Niall Green, Chairman of the governing body of Limerick Institute of Technology, to address you.
Members of the governing body, President and friends, good afternoon. Welcome to LIT, to those of you who don't come here on a daily basis. And a special good afternoon to those who are being conferred today. This is your day, and while many have helped you get here, it is for each of you your own achievement that you have reached at this stage in your lives. In celebrating your achievements, it's important to remember and recognise those who have helped you along the way and without whom your achievements would not have been possible. From my own personal experience, I would say for the vast majority of you, the influence, the sacrifice, the support and in many cases the encouragement of your parents has been crucial. Without that, most of you would not have benefited from the effort that the teaching and support staff of the Institute have put into your education and training, and more widely into your development as people and as citizens. From my own experience also, I would venture that for many of you, there is one teacher, maybe 2, but probably no more than that, who've had a profound influence on you while you were in LIT, and an influence which goes beyond the subject matter which they taught you. Each of you knows who they are, and they are probably different people for each of you. Before you leave LIT, tell them that they were special to you, because they deserve that recognition, and without your telling them, they have no way of knowing. I have to admit that I don't always do so, and in a number of cases it has been a matter of deep regret for me since that I didn't. The friendships that you have made among your fellow students are another important resource for your future lives. You have helped each other through the past few years, sometimes no doubt in ways which your teachers might have found a bit dubious had they but known, and an effort to maintain those links is well worthwhile. Social, business, political and interest group networks are increasingly important in our lives, and are all the better when they are based on friendship and mutual support rather than pure self-interest. The fact that a higher proportion of you than anyone would wish are going to have to find work or study outside Ireland, at least in the short term, will put a strain on maintaining contact, but Facebook, Skype, LinkedIn, etc. will help to overcome most of the problems of distance and time zones, facilities that generations before you did not have, and which resulted in the loss of many of what might otherwise have been enduring friendships. On occasions such as this, it would not be unusual for someone in my position to burden their audience with some weighty thoughts on the future of the technology education sector and LIT's place within it. You'll be pleased to know that you're to be spared that experience, although I cannot guarantee that future conferring audiences will be so lucky. I've been in this role for less than 3 weeks. At the moment, I'm on a journey up the learning curve from the clarity of views that one has based on relative ignorance about the subject, through a kind of where I am at the moment, through a sort of a fog of confusion of half-digested information, but hopefully I'll eventually reach the uplands of a more informed opinion, and I'll share those opinions in due course. What I can say about my observations to date is that I am very impressed with the extent and the quality of the analysis and planning that goes into the determination of the relevance, the content, the teaching process, and the maintenance of standards of the courses offered by LIT. My initial impression is that commitment to the continuous improvement of what LIT does in its various campuses and faculties is as good as you will find almost anywhere in industry, and a lot better than most. I make that point not out of any self-congratulation of LIT, but because I know that parents in particular worry about how well their daughters and sons are being prepared for the labour market and indeed for life generally. Research with which I'm familiar showed some years ago that Irish parents, and there's no reason to think that parents of other nationalities are any different, are much more fearful of their offspring's prospects of finding employment and settling into the world than are the young people who are actually experiencing that transition. This is not only due to the innately greater optimism of younger people, but to the fact that they have a line of sight to the experience of their predecessors and the education system and the routes they have taken into employment or further study. There's no point in glossing over the fact that the Irish labour market is a very tough place just now. A little less tough than in the past few years, but as we all know only too well, nowhere near being able to offer employment to all of those in our workforce. There are definite signs of employment growth in the internationally traded sectors, both goods and services, but that's going to take some time to work its way through into appreciable growth in the purely domestic economy. As a consequence, as I said earlier, more of you are going to have to find employment outside Ireland than any of you would wish, or to take jobs, hopefully as an interim measure, that are different to or less demanding than those to which you have aspired. But whether you find employment or go on to further education in Ireland or abroad, you have been well prepared. The Financial Times columnist Lucy Kellaway recently wrote a piece in which she mused about whether confidence or competence was the most important attribute in success in life. She concluded that confidence grounded in competence was the key ingredient. I think all of our graduates here today can leave LIT with the type of confidence that Lucy Kellaway described, confidence based on competence. I wish you every success in your future lives and careers. Thank you very much.
I now call on Mr. Donncha McNamara, Head of the School of Business and Humanities, to address you.
It's not every day you wake up, and the day you wake up is going to be a day that you remember forever. It's not every day that you wake up and a benchmark day in your life that you will never forget. A shared experience with your friends and colleagues. Today is this day. When I tell friends and associates of mine that I'm going to a graduation today, every single person starts with a recount of their graduation. They tell me about how they spent their day. To the soon-to-be graduates, I say first and foremost, congratulations. You have done very well to be here today, and we, as an institute, are very proud of your achievements. That feeling you have in your stomach, that nervousness, that expectation, it's yours, and it's a summation of all the classes you attended, the library times you spent, the projects you might have missed, the deadlines you were really close for and needed extensions on. All of those are yours, and they all form part of what is that excitement today. But they're not just yours. They're ours too. And they're your parents, your friends, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your supports. Today is a shared day of experience. It's experience for you in how well you've done, but also for the people in the audience and the people who might not be able to be here, but also to the faculty and staff of LIT who take, as I say, great pride in what you do. To the faculty, lecturing staff, on behalf of myself and Marion Duggan, I salute the skills and knowledge that you have passed on to these students. I salute the hard work that you put in. The times of undocumented where you met students, where you helped students, where you provide mentorship to students and get them through here today. Your skills and knowledge will not only improve us economically as a country, but also socially will help our country to be a better place. Today marks a number of firsts for us in LIT. It's the first graduates of our Masters of Arts programme in Social Care Management being conferred today. I congratulate them. Also, I would like to acknowledge those graduating from the FETAC National Traineeship in Professional Cookery today, this part-time programme, which was designed by Fault Ireland, but in conjunction with the Institutes of Technology, runs over a 2-year period and enables chefs working in registered establishments to learn the job while formalising their training through day release basis in college. Today is about you. Again, on behalf of the staff here and also the administration staff, particularly Anne Reedy and her team of Claire Allen, Amy Higgins and Anne O'Leary, who helped you with your placements, your letters and all the support you needed through the year. For today, particularly Linda Barry and Mona Khan for the work they put into graduation, but all for the administration. I'm going to leave you now. Congratulations. Well done. In about 5 minutes, you're going to have your parchment. That is the summation of 2, 3 or 4 years study. You deserve it. Drink in the day. Take moments for your... not quite literally. Maybe spend some time with your parents and don't be in a rush to get away with your friends. Genuinely, it is a benchmark day in your life and one that's going to live with you. I can only wish you all the happiness for it. Enjoy it very much. Thank you.
I now call on Mr. Donncha McNamara, Head of the School of Business and Humanities, to formally confer the LIT Awards on the graduates.
Harceann Institute Techniach Limni, Bronan Docnamiach na Institute na Fowlamori on Institute. Agus Iramort on Tuktaran, a quid par a Hobart go formul dona Hirahori a Irish Low. On behalf of the Limerick Institute of Technology, I hereby confer the awards of LIT on the students of the Institute and would ask you, President, to present these parchments to the successful candidates. I now call on Dr. Katrina Murphy, School of Business and Humanities, Head of Department of Humanities, to announce the students.
President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed programmes in the Department of Humanities, School of Business and Humanities, and are worthy of the award of Bachelor of Arts Honours in Applied Social Studies in Social Care, and request that you present their parchments to them. Akiori Christopher. Asubiojo Musunmola. Brazil Kira. Cahill Kirsty. Callahan Siobhan. Cantillon Emer. Carol Emma, in absentia. Clohasy Sarah. Costello Edel. Costello Valerie. Kremen Joanne. Croak Grania. Cullen Joan. Cullinan Louise. Curtin Edel. Delahunty Daralan. Devani Gina. Divine Gemma. Doherty Emma. Dooley April. Doran Katrina. Dowling Caroline. Douchy Sarah. Egan Grania. English Emma. Enright Shona. Ise Okeoli Shinidu. Fahy Claire. Finch Coleman Martha. Frawley Aoife. Gallagher Darren. Galligan Desmond. Galvin Denise. Gavin Amy. Gavin Damien. Gillespie Karen, Go Brian in absentia, Grealish Adele, Griffin Nicola, Hanaho Orla, Heaney Cowhig Victoria, Herlihy Marion, Higgins Stacey, Hill Rachel in absentia, Hogan Emma, Houlihan Libu, Horrigan Anna in absentia, Joyce Peter, Carney Shauna, Kyo Ann in absentia, Kyo Paula in absentia, Corley Samantha, Kai Cooney Amia, Lane Breda, Lewis Kenneth in absentia, Lynch Anya, Lynch Aoife, Lynch Georgina, Lyons Stacey, Maguire Anthony, Malupande Sharon, Manning Danielle, Macaula Gemma, McCahill Agnes, McGoldrick Mary, McInerney Josephine, McKenna Roisin, McLaughlin Olivia, McNamara Chloe, McNamara Kelly, McNamara Lizenda, McNamara Ruth, Meek Sarah, Mokilly Nellie, Moore Caroline, Morrison Magella, Morrison Sharon, Moynihan Nicole, Mullins Sally, Nash Dawn in absentia. Nagina Roshin. O'Brien Janet. O'Connell Margaret in absentia. O'Connor Jolene. O'Connor Louise. O'Connor Michelle. O'Doherty Maeve. O'Doherty Michelle in absentia. O'Flynn Ake. O'Grady Josephine. O'Grady Sinead. O'Leary Siobhan. O'Malley Mora. O'Neill Lucy. Obediah Amaraki. Oyadie Yetune. Postic Dayan in absentia. Quigley Paul. Riley Linda. Roach Elizabeth. Ryan Ashling. Ryan Kira. Ryan Elaine. Ryan Jennifer. Ryan Mary. Ryan Molly. Ryan Rachel. Brienne Geraldine. Slade Deirdre. Smith April. Smith Rebecca. Spillane Amy. Tuberty Edel. Tynan Kate. Wallace Allison. Walsh David. Walsh Sylvia in absentia. Warren O'Leary Suzanne. Waters Noreen in absentia. White Judith. Wren Helena in absentia. President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed programmes in the Department of Humanities, School of Business and Humanities and are worthy of the award of Bachelor of Arts in Applied Social Studies in Social Care. And I request that you present their parchments to them. Gormley Shane. Horrigan Bryan in absentia. Leanne Evine. Long Shirley. MacDonald Neve. White Rebecca. President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed programmes in the Department of Humanities within the School of Business and Humanities and are worthy of the award of a higher certificate in arts in culinary arts, and I request to you to present their parchments to them. Brennan Cloda. Cassilligan Charmaine. Shin Hua in absentia. Cops Jason. Corbett Eugene. In absentia. Enright Claudia. Fitzgerald Dorita in absentia. Fox Robert in absentia. Julian William. Lezinski Piotr in absentia. McNamara David. Mullins Sean. Nivakar Orla. O'Brien Cullum. O'Reilly David in absentia. Tracy George. President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed programmes in the Department of Humanities, School of Business and Humanities, and are worthy of the award of a higher certificate in arts in hospitality studies, and I request you to present their parchments to them. Abbott Anne Marie. Bentley Cheryl. Bray John. Breen Jennifer. Campbell Leanne. Farrell Danielle. Goodwin Brian. O'Brien Anthony. Rowan Katie. President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed programmes in the Department of Humanities, in the School of Business and Humanities, and are worthy of the award of a FETAC National Traineeship in Professional Cookery, and I request that you present their parchments to them. Sheikh Anwar Hussain. Buddha Lukans. In absentia. Crow Fanula. Cunningham Kira. Gabor Bojazan. Jarari Abdallah. Lench Gronia. Mali Christoph in absentia. McMahon Fikra in absentia. Mikolaja Tatiana. Mitchell Gary. O'Brien Gillian. O'D Katrina. Palivincini Jelena. Pirogovs Andres. Savrajiki Dimiti. Kalupka Oscar in absentia. President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed programmes in the Department of Humanities, in the School of Business and Humanities, and are worthy of the award of a Masters of Arts in Social Care Management, and request you to present their parchments to them. Anderson Clare. Boyle Aoife. Bradshaw Joanne. Fitzgerald Marie. Fox Simone. Gary Breda. Hanrahan Edel. Howard Clare. McKenna Julie. Murphy Rita. O'Connor Aita. Lastly, President, I present to you the following candidate who has successfully completed courses in the Department of Humanities, School of Business and Humanities, and are worthy of the award of a Master of Arts by Research. Robinson Gillian in absentia.
I now call on the President of Limerick Institute of Technology, Dr. Maria Hinfelar, to address you.
Chairman and members of the governing body, public representatives, generous sponsors, graduates, parents, spouses, friends and relations, colleagues, academic, administrative, technical and support staff. I'm delighted that you're all here to share in this happy occasion where we confer the awards upon this year's successful candidates. And it really was a very lively session, and you absolutely brought the house down. So we want to hear that again as we leave the hall for the academic procession out. So we definitely want to hear that again. And this really is a time for celebration, and celebrations can be as rowdy as they need to be and as joyous as they should be. You've passed all the assignments and exams, you now have the parchment to prove it. And I was delighted to be able to present it to you and to see the joy on everyone's faces. It's wonderful, and it really makes the year, it's always the high point of the year, the graduation ceremonies. And I'd like to congratulate you. You should be filled with pride at this important milestone, following all your hard work through long days and nights of studying. And I'd also like to thank the families and friends who've supported our graduates financially and emotionally and in many other ways through this phase of their lives. I'm sure it's been a team effort. So today is the day for smiles and a great sense of achievement all round. And today is the day it makes you realise it's all been worth it. I'd also like to extend a very warm welcome to our new chairman, Mr. Niall Green. Niall was appointed barely 2 or 3 weeks ago by the Minister for Education and Skills, Rory Quinn, on a 5-year term as chairman of the LIT governing body. He brings extensive experience from the public sector and the private sector to LIT, having served in leadership roles with organisations as diverse as GPA in the aviation sector and the Youth Employment Agency, which is obviously in the state sector. He's also the current chair of the Hunt Museum here in Limerick, which means he knows LIT very well because many of our School of Art and Design students and graduates have worked with the Hunt Museum over the years. He's making a flying start, not only because he's presiding over a very few busy days of conferring ceremonies this week and another one next week, but he also found the time already to pay visits to the various campuses of LIT across Limerick and Tipperary so we can get to know us better. I'm delighted with his very thorough approach, and I look forward to working with him. I'd also like to pay tribute to our outgoing chairman, John Clifford, a man no less thorough and committed, who was with LIT for a solid 5 years as chairman, up till 3 weeks ago. Among many other developments, he oversaw the integration of the former Tipperary Institute into LIT. He saw the birth of many new programmes, some of which are here today, that weren't there 5 years ago. And of course, he chaired countless graduation ceremonies too. So on behalf of us here, could I extend my heartfelt thanks to John and wish him all the best for life after LIT. And we might just give him a round of applause. And he's definitely missing us already because he sent me a text this morning wishing us luck for the day today. So we're in his thoughts, definitely. When you arrived on campus here this morning or this afternoon, you probably noticed it looked a little bit different, just some subtle changes. One change is that, and you will have seen it from coming through the ceremony here today, LIT is getting more and more international every year. Today, I think amongst our graduates we have students with Polish nationalities, various African nationalities. There was one student who just, when I handed over the parchment, who said thank you to me in Dutch, so there's obviously a Dutch connection there somewhere. But this year also we've got students coming in from Brazil, quite a number of them, and Oman, the US, India, and obviously also a lot of European exchange students. So one of the things that we changed, that you might have noticed when you came in the door today, is that we have all the various international flags symbolising obviously the various nationalities studying here in LIT. We have them all up in the street, and really just to create that ambience. And I'm sure that the presence of international students brings a new dimension to campus life, and I'm sure also to life off campus. Another change you might have noticed is the look and feel of the place. As part of a very ambitious long-term campus master plan at LIT, we've set in motion a whole range of projects. And they're not only about shiny, brand new buildings, taking us to 2030, because it is the campus master plan to 2030. We need to look ahead towards quite a horizon, quite a distance away. But we also need to make significant and immediate changes and improvements to what we have today. We have reconfigured some of the laboratories. We have more attractive circulation space, such as in the streets. We have outside the back entrance in that direction. You may have seen it as you came in. Study pods or hubs outside of in the plaza area. Now, obviously, if it's raining, they're not used as heavily, but certainly since they've been up since the start of this academic year, we've seen a tremendous number of students using them to sit around and have a chat and maybe look at materials before going into classes. There are similar projects happening across all the campuses, not only on the main campus, also on the Tipperary campus and in Clare Street, the School of Art and Design. And just to link it to the programmes that are here today, yes, we do want to extend our kitchen facilities. We do want to be able to take in more students onto the hospitality, professional cookery programmes, because we know there is a huge demand out there. But we just don't have the space, and as part of the plans we're looking to at least double the amount of space that we have and the kitchens and all the equipment to take in more students. And another thing that we want to do which will be of interest to the social care students, is that we want to have far more space for students to work in small groups. Because I know there are a lot of group assignments and it can be a bit of a struggle to find somewhere to go. So that's another thing that we're working on. And we know from students' feedback, from student surveys, that this is an issue and we need to address it. We get some fantastic feedback from students about the quality of our education, about the approachability of lecturers and administrative staff and student services, and that's all excellent. But the learning environment also needs to be of that standard. So that's one thing that we're really working on now. We're working on this in a partnership with Limerick City Authority, because there is a plan to redevelop and revitalise Limerick City, and the upgrading of an expansion of LIT campuses is very much part of that bigger master plan as well. And we're hoping to get some European funding for all of this, because obviously this is going to cost some money. If successful, it will transform the place, and as LIT 2013 alumni, you'll be amazed when you return in years to come for the conferring ceremonies of your younger brothers and sisters, or indeed your sons and daughters as the next generation comes in. But it's not only about bricks and mortar. At LIT we recognise the financial sacrifices that families are making in the current climate to support study in third level. And we also recognise that in spite of all of these sacrifices, it can still be a struggle to make ends meet. Our student services do an excellent job in helping students with their applications under all the state schemes. And we also have some internal money set aside every year so we can respond to urgent need. We do not wish to see students dropping out for financial reasons. We ultimately want to see every student get to a conferring ceremony who deserves to be there. So one thing we did in the last academic year, in agreement with the student union, is that we decided to transfer an additional €50,000 to this student emergency support fund through savings that we made elsewhere. And also this year we will be launching additional student scholarships. And this is thanks to a generous donation from IPB, the insurance company, to a total value of another €55,000. Now, the eligibility criteria will need to be fairly strict and they will be fair, and I'm sure they'll make a huge difference to the recipients. But today is also, first and foremost, about celebration, catching up with each other, and to reflect on your experience since graduating and also your future prospects. And we like to keep in touch with you and to keep track of how that is going. We have the LIT Graduate Destination Survey that we do every year. And that presents very detailed information about how our graduates are getting on. Your turn to complete the questionnaire will come in a few months' time, because we prefer to wait up to maybe 6 months after graduation when it's a little bit clearer where you're heading. The most recent survey was just completed, and this was about the 2012 graduates, and this was very encouraging. It showed that increasing numbers of students are going directly into employment or further studies. In fact, some of our programmes, and that includes some of the programmes across the School of Business and Humanities, saw a 100% success rate on that front. And that's a great testimony to the quality of the students, the graduates, and of the staff who are delivering the programmes. So it's obvious that prospects for graduates in Ireland are improving, and with the excellent reputation of LIT amongst employers, you're well placed to benefit from this welcome development. As well as preparing students for employment, we also actively encourage graduates to set up their own business if they're interested in becoming, obviously, creating their own employment and also creating employment for others. And one thing that we have at LIT, which is a little bit unusual across the landscape of third-level institutions, is that co-located with every single campus that we have, the main campus here, the two campuses in Tipperary, and in future also with the School of Art and Design, we have enterprise centres. And in the enterprise centres, businesses, emerging businesses are supported to develop their concept, to develop their business plans, develop their marketing, etc. And we also have bursaries for graduates of LIT to take a place in one of those centres to avail of those services. And I'd like you to consider that perhaps as an option for you. Now, the Enterprise Centre here on the main campus is called the Hartnett Centre, named after John Hartnett, who is a very successful business person, originally from Limerick, now based in Silicon Valley. So he's in the world of technology, and the businesses supported in the Hartnett Centre are really around technology and businesses that have the potential to export their services and products and to bring revenue into the local economy and the national economy. But having said that, the businesses supported in that centre are not only about high-end technology. Just to give you one example, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, we had a business that was created from the centre there, and this was a business that developed books for children suffering from autism, and it was about coaching and helping these children to familiarise themselves with, for instance, simple things like going to the dentist, going to school, the type of thing that autistic children would really struggle with. And that particular business was so successful that it ended up not only winning the award for Business of the Year coming out of the Enterprise Centre, but also an extremely successful business which is now exporting all these publications to the UK market. So just really to make the point that the enterprise centres are not only about high tech. It's important to bear that in mind. And we also have 1 or 2 companies there that are focusing on food science, on the science of how do you balance nutrition with taste and everything else. And clearly that is of interest to some of you here today as well. So finally, I'd like to just round off by saying that whatever your future holds out for you, whatever you're aiming to do, whatever you're doing right now, may I wish you all the best for your future career, your future lives, and I'm sure that you will be fantastic contributors to the world around you, to the people you know, to the people you work with. And I think the education here at LIT has given you a fantastic grounding for that. And I have every confidence in you. I'm sure that all my colleagues here have every confidence in you that you will make the most of everything that you've picked up from us here. And again, I congratulate you, and I hope you enjoy today. Thank you.
Can we get the doors open at that end as well, please, just to let some air through? We come now to the special awards ceremony for outstanding achievement, and I invite the Chairman of the Governing Body and the President of LIT to make the awards. The first of our special awards today is the Brothers of Charity Services Limerick Award, presented by Sean Gallagher of the Brothers of Charity. The Brothers of Charity Services Limerick Award is for overall excellence on the Bachelor of Arts Honours in Applied Social Studies in Social Care. And the award goes to Michelle O'Connor. Our next award is the Social Care Ireland Award, presented by Dr. Katrina Murphy of LIT. The Social Care Ireland Award is for academic excellence on the Bachelor of Arts Honours in Applied Social Studies in Social Care. And the Social Care Ireland Award goes to Maeve O'Doherty. Next, we have two Fáilte Ireland Awards, presented by Mr. Ronan Brannigan of the Savoy Hotel. The first of our Fáilte Ireland Awards is for excellence on the Higher Certificate in Arts in Culinary Arts. And the award goes to Sean Mullins. The second of the Fáilte Ireland Awards is for excellence on the Higher Certificate in Arts in Hospitality Studies. And the award goes to Danielle Farrell. Our final award today is the Irish Hotel Federation Award, presented by Mr. Michael Vaughan, President of the Irish Hotel Federation. The Irish Hotel Federation Award is for excellence on the FETAC National Traineeship in Professional Cookery. And the award goes to Gillian O'Brien. Thank you all for the manner in which you've participated in this conferring ceremony. The official photographers are located at the Millennium Theatre at the front of this building, just to let you know that. And once we finish here, we'd like to invite you to join us for some light refreshments in the Scholars Restaurant, which is the next glass building to your left. I now declare this conferring ceremony closed. Please stand for the academic procession. And this time we invite the graduates to join the end of the procession.